Hello, I'm Carlton Van Putten, founder and CEO of PayRent. Welcome to the Keys to Success podcast, where we unlock the secrets to smarter investments, smoother tenant management, and bigger profits, one episode at a time. Ready to master your property game? Let's dive in.
Welcome to Keys to Success. Unlock your property potential. We're all about helping you work smarter, not harder.
That's the goal, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And today, we're diving into something that's really changing the landscape for landlords. Artificial intelligence.
Yeah, AI. It's moving way beyond just science fiction now.
It really is. We're talking about shifting your business, from just reacting to problems, the leaky faucet at midnight.
We've all been there.
Right. Towards proactively managing your properties, using AI to maybe predict issues before they happen, boosting efficiency, and ultimately your bottom line.
And that proactive shift is key. It's about using data strategically, not just putting out fires as they pop up.
Totally. And to help us unpack all this, we've got some great insights from a recent discussion. We heard from Carlton Van Putten, who's the CEO of Parent.
Right. And also Allison, who's fascinating. She's an AI futurist, author, speaker, and importantly, she's a landlord too.
Yeah. So she gets the practical side. They gave a real boots-on-the-ground look at how you can actually start integrating AI into your day-to-day. So our mission today: cut through the hype, skip the confusing tech jargon,
Please.
and give you clear, actionable ways AI can make a difference in your landlord business, like right now. Tackling those common headaches, maybe even showing you some things you hadn't thought of.
Sounds good. So where do we start? What's the reality of AI in property management today?
Well, first off, it's not some far-off dream. As Carlton pointed out, AI is already working behind the scenes in tons of places.
Yeah, like the stock market, right?
Yeah.
Most trades are AI-driven now. It's happening incredibly fast.
Exactly. So it's not if AI is coming, it's already here. The real question is how we as landlords can harness it.
Okay. And Carlton made a really important point about what AI actually is.
He did. He stressed that while it's amazing at crunching numbers, analyzing huge data sets way beyond human capability, it's essentially simulating intelligence. It uses probabilities, complex algorithms to generate responses. It's not actually thinking or being creative like a human does.
That's a crucial distinction. It can mimic human chat, even generate creative stuff. But under the hood, it's all algorithms and data. Understanding that helps set expectations.
Right. It helps you see the potential, but also the limits. Okay, so let's break down the main AI technologies landlords should probably know about.
Sure. Carlton and Allison covered a few key ones. First up is machine learning.
Okay.
Think of it like training a computer system on massive amounts of data. It learns patterns, makes predictions. So for you, it could be trained to spot, say, red flags in tenant applications
How so?
by identifying patterns linked to fraud in the past. It's like a detective learning to spot a fake ID because they've seen thousands, right? It picks up on subtle things.
Got it. That makes sense. What else?
Then there's natural language processing, or NLP. That's what lets machines understand and use human language.
Like chatbots.
Exactly. Chatbots for tenant questions, voice assistants, that kind of thing. And then you have generative AI.
That's the one everyone's talking about, like
Yeah.
ChatGPT.
Precisely. It can create new content text, images based on prompts you give it. Think writing property descriptions or ad copy instantly.
Okay. Huge time saver potential there for marketing. What about visual stuff like photos?
That's computer vision. It lets computers see and interpret images. You could potentially use it to verify repairs are done right just by analyzing photos.
Interesting. Any others?
Well, there's also robotics. Maybe not for every landlord right now, but robotics increasingly uses AI for more complex physical tasks down the line.
All right, that's a good overview of the tools. Now, the big question: how are these actually changing the core jobs of managing properties? Let's start with getting tenants in the door acquisition and marketing.
Yeah, this is an area where AI can have a pretty immediate impact. Like Carlton mentioned, you can automate writing those property listings, creating engaging ad copy.
Frees up your time.
Totally. Some tools even enhance your property photos automatically, make them look more appealing online.
And response time is everything these days, isn't it? People clicking on an ad expect an answer like yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. That's where AI-powered leasing assistants come in. They can give instant answers 2004/7. We're talking going from maybe a 24-hour turnaround to immediate responses.
Wow.
And these assistants can do more than just answer questions. They can pre-qualify tenants based on your criteria, even schedule showings automatically.
That speed must make a real difference in filling vacancies. Carlton had some stats on that, right?
He did. He pointed out that even a small bump in your occupancy rate, maybe just 5%, can mean a really significant boost to your revenue. So faster leasing directly impacts your wallet.
Makes sense. Okay, let's move to the next crucial step. Tenant screening and the lease process. This is where you want to avoid problems later.
Definitely. And look, traditional background checks, they're useful, but they can miss sophisticated fraud.
Right.
This is where AI, especially machine learning, really shines. It can analyze way more data points, bank info, document details, spotting subtle inconsistencies that a human might easily overlook.
So it's like a superpowered fraud detector.
Kind of, yeah. It cross-references vast amounts of data in seconds. Carlton shared some pretty stark numbers. Tenant fraud is apparently a $16 billion problem in the U.S.
16 billion, wow.
Yeah, and something like 93% of landlords have run into it. So AI isn't just convenient here. It's becoming a crucial tool for preventing really costly mistakes.
Okay, switching gears to the money side, rent collection, financial management. How's AI stepping in there?
Well, one big area is pricing. AI can analyze market data comps, demand, local trends in almost real time to help you optimize your rent prices.
Dynamic pricing.
Exactly. Helps you maximize revenue without guesswork. And think about the time that saves. Carlton mentioned how much effort goes into that kind of deep market research manually. AI does it constantly.
Like having a 247 pricing analyst. What else on the finance front?
Financial forecasting. AI tools can take your basic financial data and generate things like 13-week cash flow projections. Gives you a much clearer view of your financial health.
That's powerful.
And invoice processing. AI can automate that whole chain, receiving an invoice, verifying it, getting it approved, paying it, streamlines the back office stuff significantly.
Serious efficiency gains there. Okay, let's tackle maintenance and repairs, often a big headache and expense.
Oh, yeah. This is where things get really interesting with the Internet of Things, IoT, combined with AI.
Explain that.
So you put sensors on your systems, HVAC, water heater, whatever. They connect to the internet, send data. AI analyzes that data to monitor performance and predict potential failures before they happen.
Predictive maintenance. So it might flag a weird noise in the furnace before it actually breaks down in winter?
Precisely. Or a slight drop in water pressure indicating a leak you haven't seen yet. It can save huge amounts on emergency repairs and tenant disruption.
That sounds amazing. What about managing the actual repair process?
AI can automate work order management pretty much end to end. Carlton describes scenarios where an AI agent, knowing your preferred vendors and procedures, can assess a maintenance request, contact the right vendor, schedule the job, even verify the work using computer vision on photos the vendor sends.
Verifying with photos.
Yeah, and then process the payment. All potentially without you needing to step in for routine stuff. The cost and time savings could be massive.
That level of automation is, well, it's a game changer. Okay, finally, let's talk tenant communication. Expectations there are sky high now.
Totally. Tenants expect instant answers. AI-powered virtual assistants are perfect for this. They can handle routine questions 24/7.
But are they just glorified FAQs?
Not necessarily. The better ones are smarter. They can access tenant history, personalize responses, understand context better, and they can actually do things for the tenant based on the conversation, not just provide info.
So they execute tasks too?
Yes, potentially. This all leads to happier tenants, better relationships, potentially higher retention. Carlton felt this is often one of the easiest places to start seeing AI benefits.
Right. Handle the routine stuff so you can focus on the more complex interactions.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly powerful, but I can hear listeners thinking, this sounds complicated. Where do I even start? It can feel overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. That feeling is very common. Allison had some great advice here. She said, think of AI, especially tools like ChatGPT, as like a hyper-intelligent assistant.
Okay.
Almost like a very bright college intern. She jokingly called it Skippy.
Skippy. I like that.
Skippy is eager to please, wants to help, but needs really clear instructions. If you're vague, Skippy might, well, trip over itself trying to figure out what you want.
So vague instructions lead to vague or maybe just wrong results.
Exactly. Allison's example was just telling it, write a letter to an angry tenant about their deposit. That's way too open-ended.
Right. You need more detail.
Much more. You need context, specifics about the situation, what tone you want, what the goal is.
Which brings us to that framework she mentioned, the Risen framework for writing good prompts. Yes, Risen. It's a super helpful way to structure your request to AI. R is for role.
Role?
You tell the AI who it should be, act as the owner of a property management company specializing in single-family homes, sets the stage.
Okay, give it a persona. What's next?
I is for instruction. Just clearly state the task. Write a response to this tenant email regarding their security deposit return. Simple. Then S is for steps.
Steps, like a mini checklist.
Pretty much. Give it a process to follow.
Yeah.
First, acknowledge their frustration. Second, reference Section 7B of the lease agreement regarding cleaning charges. Third, provide an itemized list of deductions. You guide it.
Okay, providing a clear roadmap. Then what?
E is for end goal. Define success. What should the final output achieve? The letter should professionally address each concern, clearly justify deductions based on the lease and evidence, and provide respectful closure. This is not a negotiation.
Setting clear boundaries on the outcome. And the last one.
N is for narrowing. Tell it what not to do. Do not cite any laws outside of Oregon. Do not sound overly apologetic. Do not offer discounts. Allison also suggested asking the AI if it needs clarification before it starts.
That's incredibly practical. RISEN. It sounds less like being a tech wizard and more like just being a really clear communicator.
That's exactly it. Prompt engineering is fundamentally a communication skill. And, worth noting, there's a difference between free and paid AI tools.
Right. What's the main difference usually?
Paid versions often let you upload files like your actual lease document, which gives the AI crucial context. They also tend to have better memory for longer conversations, but you can still do a lot with the free ones to start.
Okay, so we know how to talk to AI now using Risen. But how do we figure out which of our many landlord tasks are the best ones to actually try automating first?
Allison offered a really smart approach for that, too. A quadrant analysis.
Quadrant sounds serious.
It's pretty straightforward, actually. You basically map tasks on two axes. One is potential time or cost savings. How much effort would automating this save?
Okay. High savings versus low savings.
Right. The other axis is the criticality of potential errors. How bad would it be if the AI messed this task up? High criticality versus low criticality.
Okay. So high savings, low risk sounds like the sweet spot.
Exactly. She called that quadrant the gold. Tasks that save you a lot of time or money, but where an error isn't catastrophic, that's where you likely want to focus first.
What kind of landlord tasks fall into the gold?
Things like drafting initial versions of letters or emails, writing property descriptions, generating ad copy variations, maybe handling those first-level tenant FAQs, stuff where you'll review it anyway, or an error is easily fixable.
Makes sense. What are the other quadrants, briefly?
Well, high time cost savings, but high criticality. Think drafting a lease addendum. You might use AI for a first draft, but a human, probably a lawyer, absolutely needs to review it. That's human in the loop. Low time cost savings and high criticality. Maybe something where mistakes are bad, but automating doesn't save much time anyway. Allison had a funny example about a lawyer accidentally showing up as a cat on Zoom. High stakes, low automation benefit. Call that got it, maybe.
Cut.
And low time cost, low criticality, maybe quick, informal texts with a maintenance person you trust. It's already efficient, low risk. Why bother automating it?
That's a really clear way to prioritize. Focus on the gold first. So what's the overall journey look like for a landlord adopting AI?
Allison suggested a natural progression. It starts with understanding prompting, getting good with frameworks like Risen.
Step 1, learn to communicate.
Right. Then you start identifying your assets, like those well-crafted prompts, and integrating AI into specific workflows, like your marketing process or handling initial tenant inquiries.
Building it into the system.
Yeah. And then looking further out, the future potential, as both she and Carlton discussed, is maybe even developing custom AI agents trained specifically on your business needs and processes.
So a path from basic use to deeper integration and customization. This has been super insightful. We've really covered how AI can shift property management towards being more proactive, efficient.
And hopefully more profitable and less stressful for you.
Definitely. We've looked at the key tech, practical uses from finding tenants to handling maintenance, and crucially, how you can get started with prompting and prioritizing tasks.
The potential really is there to significantly improve how you run your landlord business. Even starting small, focusing on that gold quadrant can make a big difference.
Absolutely. So keep that risen framework in mind. Think about that quadrant analysis for your own tasks. What questions did this spark for you? Where do you see AI potentially helping in your specific business challenges? We really encourage you to keep exploring that.
It's an exciting time to be looking at these tools.
It really is. Thanks for tuning in to Keys to Success. Unlock your property potential, stay curious, keep learning, and we'll catch you next time with more strategies to help you thrive.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Keys to Success. I invite you to check out past episodes and follow us on your favorite podcast platform to get notified when new ones are released. And when you're ready to simplify managing your properties, be sure to visit us at www.payrent.com.